and that is Brother Taalik from the Reality Temples on Earth channel. And if you get a chance to subscribe, please do subscribe to his channel. He's a good brother. You know, he's doing good work, and he wants to do good constructive things. He has good information to provide. So please do check out his channel if you get a chance.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. President Trump has already had sit-downs with the wrong representatives of the black community. How about a real discussion with a true grassroots African American? Join and organize Operation Exodus Mississippi today, or become a supporter.
The gods foretold of this day. When a champion from Themyscira would be called upon to protect man's world.
You're a princess, right?
Something like that.
Diana, explain yourself.
His arrival is a sign. Man's world needs our help, Mother.
Are you truly willing to throw away everything you are for the mere chance of helping them?
It's what you taught me.
It's Wonder Woman! Blast her!
I take it deliberations are over.
It did not go well.
You really are something special. You know that?
So presumptuous.
It's been a long time.
Giganta.
Bigger and better, bitch.
I do so love mass destruction.
What's the matter, princess? Feeling a little slow?
You haven't beaten me yet. Poison and Cyber may have declared war on Themyscira. But if there's one thing Amazons know, it's how to fight a war. And it's time to fight. Show me the path to Themyscira. Show me the way home.
You just had to wait for the dramatic entrance, didn't you?
I thought you liked a little drama.
Good day, everybody. How are you? Morning Talks with Ro is right around the corner. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Who's ready for Morning Talks with Ro? Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday. Are you ready? Morning Talks with Ro is right around
drop
the
in
corner.
and leave you with something tangible to work with and practice. Because some of the things you're going to hear, right, on a regular basis, but if you're not practicing it, it doesn't make it real. It doesn't settle in as wisdom, right? It doesn't serve you the way that it could serve you if you use the tools. You got to work this stuff. It's one thing to talk about it, right? It's one thing to be lip service. It's another thing to actually implement this into your life. Good day, everybody. How you doing? Coach Ro checking in. 90 words to your breakthrough. So today's word is recharge. It is almost that time again. Every month I do a 3-day liquid fast where I just pause from taking in solid foods so that the body can benefit in so many ways. One way, of course, is that when the body is not concerned about breaking down food and using the energy for that, it can then take that very valuable energy and take it to other places in the body where it could use healing. It's also good for a spiritual pause. It's good to fast from people or things. You can do a digital cleanse. That's something else I'll be doing on this fast this time around, where I turn off all electronic devices. No texting, no emails, no social media, no web surfing, no nothing. It's out of here, right? So it is always good to just pause so that you can recharge and become an even greater version of yourself. Here's to your breakthrough.
Good day, everybody. How you doing? Coach Ro checking in. 90 words to your breakthrough. So today's word is dig. You know, there are things that can happen in our lives that we may deem to be negative, bad, terrible even, right? It can be so challenging to get by or to find a way to process it all. And I have found that over time, just observing other people and even observing myself, if you search for it, if you dig for it, there is good, there is gain that you can get from that experience, even if it's showing you what not to do. So, you know, maybe you witness something or you experience something that you feel is really not cool, not good, but maybe it's showing you the path not to go down. Maybe it's showing you choices you don't want to make. Maybe it's showing you how not to treat someone. Even when we are mourning the loss of a loved one, we can dig for the good in their legacy. What did they leave behind? Dig. Here's to your breakthrough. Good day, everybody. How you doing? Coach Ro checking in. 90 words to your breakthrough. So today's word is space. You know, I was thinking about this word and I was like, this could be an interesting word to show how it can empower us. Who needs to take some space away from something or someone or just a situation so that you can gather your thoughts, get more clarity? And I'm not saying use this as an excuse to like walk out on a relationship. If you feel like you gotta go ahead and have the courage to say this is no longer working. We need to go ahead and move our separate ways. But I do believe that you can take space even with your partner just to make sure that you're not overreacting, just to make sure that you're able to gather some peace before you say the next word. Or maybe when you're at work and you feel overwhelmed, maybe you want to just step away, have a tea break, go walk down the street or in the park that's not too far away. Give yourself some space if you need it. Space. Here's to your breakthrough. What up, everybody? How you doing? Coach Ro checking in. 90 words to your breakthrough. So today's word is impulse. So an impulse is a sudden urge to do something, right? It's a trigger. So we could be impulsive about a lot of things. We may be impulsive about our spending, right? You may pick up something that you don't need. You know it's not in the budget, but you're going to deal with the consequences later. Or you may be impulsive about how you respond to something emotionally. Maybe you get angry quickly or frustrated quickly and it's been affecting your relationships and you keep doing it over and over and over again because you're impulsive about it. We could be impulsive about what we eat. Sometimes you may eat things that maybe aren't in your best interest, you know, but because you're impulsive, you don't check yourself and you eat it anyway. So are your impulses working for you or against you? Because of course, impulse can propel you towards your goal, but it can also take you away from achieving your goals. Impulse. Here's to your breakthrough.
Where you at? Hey! Y'all ready to level up for Morning Talks with Ro? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Reality on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. I've been watching you for at least a couple years now.
Yes, sir.
From the first time I got hip to your channel, I've been hooked ever since. I'm always looking out for new videos. I mean, when I first saw your channel, I said, oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned. Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, what is he talking about?
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. I love my
I want to start my own. The brother got on my website today and said we need a Pan-African channel. I totally agree. I was working on starting my own video streaming page where you can just load all your videos up there. No time, no censorship. Because if you notice on my website now, it's limited to 100 megabytes. Due to the servers, due to the carrier, the videos can only be no more than 100 megabytes. I'm tired of YouTube. Too many times they're destroying our pages. They don't want to see this movement grow on YouTube. You see some of my videos and you look at them and they like got 10 views, 20 views. That's not because, and then people will look at that and they'll make them think, oh, he's not getting the views. No, I have so many YouTube pages destroyed that they don't want to see me effectively and successfully build up this momentum and stream of people watching my videos. I'm just as big as the bigger people on YouTube, but you cannot see it because they make it that way by constantly destroying my pages to destroy the momentum that I am building up on YouTube. So it's not going to work on YouTube. You all see how long I've been on YouTube. No one has been more resilient, pushing more harder on YouTube than I have. I must add, Brother Angel Snubnub 7, Brother Taalik Ibn'rad. Many of you all have not heard of him, and it's a reason for that you haven't heard of brothers like that who's coming with a profound message. Every day this brother does like an hour dissertation on YouTube, but no one's hearing him. His message is not getting out. Powerful message, more powerful than most messages that are out there. Very real, very radical, very sincere, very diligent, very consistent, and very little hypocrisy in what he speaks. At least he's true and sincere about what he's talking about. He's not doing it for money, selling no projects, selling no products, trying to do lectures. He's actually coming on there, offering some critical thought and critical analysis every day consistently, but most people have not heard of him. Not because he's lazy. I see him. He got thousands of YouTube pages. I see him constantly putting out videos, but you haven't heard of him. That's by design. That's by design of white supremacy.
Hey, Uma! Not to be popular. It's just I'm inspired by my brother, that Reality Temple's brother, the most powerful voice on the internet, that Reality Angel Snubbing Up 7. That's right, brother. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm building you. I'm putting you out there, brother. I'm shouting you out. That's my inspiration.
Free your mind.
I just want to talk about these recent mass shootings that have occurred in Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso, Texas, Mississippi, and California. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Mass shootings in this country are going to get much worse than what they already are. And if this dollar collapse, you haven't seen crime until the US dollar, any monetary system in the country collapse. You haven't seen crime. You will see what people are all about if a monetary system in a country collapses. Okay? If this US dollar becomes worthless, and I mean completely worthless, it loses its currency around the world. Okay? Not just in this country, but around the world. You will see a country turned upside down in the right circumstances. Folks you thought you knew will kill you for resources. They will murder you to eat. People have actually killed people in times past because they would rather kill you than to starve to death. Okay? So with that being said, you know, I hate that these shootings are occurring the way that they are occurring in this country. I hate the fact that there are a lot of guns on the streets, you know, a lot of illegal guns on the streets, but most of these mass shootings are committed with people that are legal carriers, okay? These folks have not purchased their weapons illegally. They've purchased them legally. You know, they passed a background check and they passed
whatever criminal history that they needed to pass in order to legally purchase their firearms. And they decided to use these weapons to harm other individuals that they feel are a threat to them. Okay? Now, we all know that white men stole it from the natives. They stole it from original black folks that once inhabited these lands that were called Native Americans. Okay? Now, we got these counterfeit natives that claim that they're Native Americans today, but we all know that the original Native Americans were dark-skinned people. Okay? So, with that being said, they stole this country, and now they feel threatened by so-called illegal immigrants that they feel is taking over their country, And even though you need to come in this country legally, yeah, I agree that you need to come in this country legally. You need to obtain citizenship in this country, okay? Because when you come in this country, you're taking up the resources and, everything that the country has to offer, and basically you're taking it away from the legal citizens that need that help. They need the resources that they're given to you, and they need that themselves. I'm talking about the legal citizens. There's so many homeless people in this country that are legal citizens, okay? And all the resources and whatever they're given to illegal immigrants, they could be given to citizens of this country to help them become, resident owners. You understand? I hope you understand what I'm saying. There's so many folks in California right now, in Los Angeles alone, that are homeless. And they have jobs. A lot of them do have jobs. But they're living outdoors in tents. They're living in their vehicles. Because they can't afford housing. They can't afford a resident where, they don't have a high monthly rent, So, as long as this country has been in existence, white men have terrorized everyone. There is nothing new about these mass shootings. This is their MO. This is what they have been doing to the world. They've been terrorizing everyone around the world, including their own people. This is history repeating itself with these white mass terrorists. Okay? History repeating itself. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse than what you see now. First of all, they're going to use this narrative to try to get Trump out of office, because somehow Trump is to blame for all these mass shootings. But these people existed before Trump even became president. And Trump is going to be in office another 4 years. And there were mass shootings going on when President Obama was in office. And, there were mass 8 years while President Obama was in office. So, don't try to blame Trump for all these mass shootings that are occurring, because it was occurring before he took office, and it was occurring back in the 1950s and 60s and 70s. White men was going out bombing churches back in the 50s. White men was going out, bombing whole towns back in the 1920s. Black Wall Street. Or was it 1917 when that occurred? Well, they were still bombing towns, black towns back in the 1920s, Anyway, there's nothing new here. What you see is what it always has been in this country. This country was founded upon violence, racial terrorism, racial violence. It was founded upon so-called religious freedom, but at the same time, it was founded upon satanic principles also. It was founded upon satanic principles, okay? So this country has always been a satanic country, even though they say it's, God's country, but it's still a satanic country. It always has been, it always will be, okay? And, There's nothing godly about this country today. There's nothing Christian about this country. This is not a Christian nation. This is not a Christian nation, okay? Although the country was founded upon religious freedom, because, you know, the so-called Puritans, they ran from Europe to escape, you know, religious violence by the Roman Catholic Church. You know, they ran to this country to escape religious persecution. So, you know, there's nothing new here. These white men have been terrorizing us forever in this country. And they're going to keep terrorizing us. They're going to keep committing these acts of racial violence against us. They're going to keep doing it.
Free your mind.
I just heard the news that there's another mass shooting, this time in El Paso, Texas. Walmart is involved. If you didn't know, there was another, earlier this week, I believe, there was another shooting at a Walmart in the Memphis, Tennessee area, I believe. But we're going to talk about El Paso, Texas. Well, this really relates to it all, because once again, you can get angry at me all that you want to, and I know that y'all really believe in the supreme being, and you believe in the mighty high, the high and mighty. How do y'all say that? The high mighty, the mighty high, the mighty one, whatever it is. But clearly your boy, your boy is he ain't saving nobody. We have consistent violence, one after the other. One after the other. Your God is mighty, your God is powerful, and your God just ain't getting, cannot save us. And I know some of y'all, see, you're not biologists, and I was watching somebody's live stream where they was talking about all these insects going crazy, like grasshoppers and stink bugs, and all. God is causing all of this. No. When the right environment, when the right conditions happen, you will see these insects, they just populate it's just natural phenomena with the right condition. It has nothing to do with God. If you look at the United States and you know the history of the weather of the United States, then you are familiar with these grasshopper swarmings and all these bugs. I've seen it myself for years. It's not nothing new, has nothing to do with God. Praise the Lord. Hey, maybe I can save some folks. Please, Lord, we need you. It's too many mass shootings. Lord, God, Allah, Yahweh, Yahshua, whatever you want to call, whatever, come on, God. But one thing for sure, all those who were mass murdered today, God did not help them, nor those in Mississippi or anywhere. Your God is not protecting you. Your God, either your God don't exist or your God has no power. It's not my fault. Why are y'all blaming me? I'm just making an observation. I'm just making an observation. Your God is failing. So please stop coming to me as long as your God cannot protect you cannot protect nobody, don't come to my channel talking about what God can do. And your God is high and mighty and powerful and all like this. Your God continues to show and prove that he or she or it has no power. I want to say this too before I get out of here. I notice, and it brings a tear to my eye. You might not be able to see it, but there's a tear coming from my eye. I have lost about 10 subscribers. 10. So that means I must have more than 10 subscribers, because y'all always say I only have 10 subscribers. So I must have 20 subscribers because 10 has unsubscribed. They unsubscribed. I'm so sorry that they cannot handle the truth. I'm sorry that you cannot handle being real. I'm not going to bring fantasy and fiction and fairy tales and Santa Claus and all this hyped up, fabricated history. I don't do that here. I'm not going to be patient with you. I'm not going to all that kind of stuff. We got to keep it real. Now, I do also want to say that our friend Alquan was on the live stream last night. Shout out to Alquan. And I guess myself and Alquan, we have a love-hate relationship. And we are going to continue to have a love-hate relationship is because there may be things that we disagree upon, but at the same time, real recognize real. Alquan does not talk about this fantasy and fiction fairy tale crap that y'all off into. All this blackity black pro black. And I also told you, and maybe these people that unsubscribe, maybe they were new to my channel. I told you, all that pro-black stuff, Kemetic, Moore, Nation of Islam stuff, blah, blah, blah. Of course you hear, Brother Micah, you keeping it real. And I'm not doing that here. That don't work. All that fairy tale fiction stuff, the goose that laid the golden egg in Kemet, it don't work here. I don't do that stuff here. So if you're looking for fairy tales, if you're looking for praise, if you're looking for credit and you did not earn it, this is the wrong place to be. When you earn it, I will give it to you. If you don't earn the praise, if you don't earn the honor, I'm not giving it to you. I'm gonna bring it to you just as raw and real as it should be brought to you. It's simple as that. You can't get with that, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. All of you, look, as long as we can keep it real, I'm perfectly happy and fine with 10 subscribers or one that's real. I don't need all that hype, because that's all it is hype. Because y'all hype God up, God can do this. Y'all done put a lot of stuff, y'all done put a lot of accolades on your God or whatever, and your God does not live up. It's not my fault. Your God is not living up to what you claiming. This God got all this power, the all-knowing, the all-powerful, the mighty one or whatever. I don't see it, and you don't see it either. This is what I advise you. This is what I suggest to you. Accept reality. It's much easier. Once you accept reality, humanity itself will be on the road to the glory that you deserve.
Free your mind.
Well, Jesus gonna fix it. Jesus gonna fix it. Oh,
Oh, my Lord, Jesus gonna fix it. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, my Lord. God is coming. He gonna fix it. In the name of my ancestors, peace and forever and always. Welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth. I am your host and gatekeeper of this ministry, the mighty one, mighty, 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 mighty one. Yeah. And you snub 7. I'm also your soul brother. Number. Can I get amen, choir? Number. Can I get amen 2 times? Number. Can I get amen 3 times? Amen. Your soul brother number 1. Wow. Now, didn't we just experience a mass shooting in Ohio? I mean, in Texas, yesterday. This is a Sunday morning, and we wake up to the news that 9 are dead, another mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio. And all I get from those who believe in this God is excuse after excuse for God's failure. See, even the scripture says, whatever was in the dark shall come into the light. What was in the back shall not come into the front. We are steady seeing. And the masses of the people are beginning to see that there is no power in their gods except the power of feel-good rhetoric, making you emotional, selling you false hopes and dreams. That's all that you're getting out. Here we are on a Sunday, and there are still many who will go to church and go to the mosque and go to the synagogue and go to wherever they believe they need to go to worship. And there's a high probability, very high probability, that anybody from the street can come into your mosque or your synagogue or your church and just add you to the many who have been murdered this week, not only at Walmart, but on the streets of Chicago, all over the world. There are persons who believe in this God, and their lives was taken. Their lives came to an end this week. And the only thing that you can do is tell me, and what makes things worse is that you say that God permit this. Well, if you can't do anything to stop it, I guess you would permit it, since you can't do nothing to stop it. And why would God permit this? Why would God want this type of harm
coming to innocent people. But if you notice, those of whom many of us may agree to be wicked, you ever notice bad things didn't happen to the Nazis, the Adolf Hitler and the boys? These wicked folks running around here. Where's the power of God? Men had to take things into their own hands to stop Adolf Hitler. God did not do anything. People had to take things into their own hands to stop the evil in the world. In fact, Dr. King said quite clearly, the reason why evil exists is because good people do nada, do nothing. You might be good, but you're good for nothing because you will not stand. And even if you're a Christian or a Muslim, the forces of wickedness, you don't do anything except go to church. So you have thousands and millions who simply just go to church, but none of them are taking any type of real action, doing any real work to prevent these types of evil. Then you have a God. Remember, I was taught that nothing happens without the permission of God. So that means all of these murders in Chicago and the mass murder in El Paso, Texas, and just recently here in Dayton, Ohio, and before the end of the day, probably while I'm speaking, all these murders, all these acts of evil is being done by God's permission, because nothing happens, like you say, without the permission of God. That makes things even worse. I have people who believe in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And remember, God came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Yet God is here on the scene in person. Not a spook, not a spirit. God is here with us in person. But yet Elijah Muhammad went to prison for 5 years. Malcolm X believed in Allah, believed in God, and he was shot down like a dog, an unarmed man in front of his wife and children. Where was Allah? Well, Malcolm X was a hypocrite. There's always some kind of excuses. It's not up for you to judge whether Malcolm X was a hypocrite or a traitor. That's between him and Master Farad Muhammad. It's not up to you to judge nobody who was murdered in a church or anything, or anybody, period. The only one who can judge somebody is God, not you, not me. But nothing happens like we are taught without God's permission. So God has approved of these murders, but you don't like it. So if you don't like the approval of these, if you don't approve of these murders, that these people were innocent or whatever, then that means you don't approve of God, because your God gave permission that these people be murdered, that their lives be taken. Don't get angry at me. This is your scripture. This is your belief. And another thing is that you say, and we're taught, that God knows these things before they even happen. So that means God approved of these actions way ahead of time and made no attempt to stop them because such action was approved. I don't want nothing to do with that type of God that clearly has no power and approves assassination, because that's what happened. These people were assassinated. And yet God did nothing to prevent these things. Don't tell me about the power of your God when you have bodies laying all over the ground going to the morgue. Don't tell me about the power of your God when your God is approving of such evil and wickedness. Because this God has firsthand knowledge that this is going to happen. And your God does nothing to stop it. So, I mean, why would I want to be affiliated? Why would I be associated with something like that? So early this morning, all over this country, you're wasting your time in the church hooping and hollering. Oh, Jesus gonna fix it. Oh, Allah Akbar. Oh, God is the greatest. And look at your condition. God is being tested. The time has come where we need to let go of these fantasy, fictional belief systems. They're doing you no good. Just like Jim Kelly told Han in Enter the Dragon, man, you come right out of a comic book. All this stuff is comic book action. All of it. It's not real. You're getting real results, but you're going to a God that's not real. That's why you're not getting any kind of real solution, because there is no solution. Your God don't exist. That's why your God has no power. What father, what mother, if they have the power to save their children, to prevent a murder, to prevent a car accident, whatever the tragedy is, you tell me, what parent would not stop that tragedy? If God is the parent, why isn't God stopping the car accident, the drive-by shootings, these mass murders? If God is the parent, why isn't your God stopping these things? Plus, as you say, nothing happens without God's permission. And I was also told, these are the works of the devil. If these are the works of the devil, and God knows about it, why God is not stopping the devil? Clearly, clearly the devil or Satan has more power than God, because he is able to show his power and cause serious harm, but God is doing nothing to prevent it by showing his power. I can stop you, Mr. Devil. I can stop you, Satan. So Satan is showing power, but your God is showing that he, she, or it is powerless. I think I would rather ride with the devil, with Satan, because Satan has some power. So if I get with Satan and me and Satan want to ride down on somebody, Satan would take them out for me. God can't do nothing. I'd rather ride with the power. So here we are on a Sunday morning, in church, in the synagogues, in the mosque, and you just wasting your time. Crying, screaming and hollering, foaming at the mouth, pretending to be associated with somebody that is the Almighty, that has no power. Your God is being tested. Your God is being tested. And your God is failing the test. And all the little children and all the people coming up are seeing this in action. We have been believing in these gods for thousands of years, and these gods have not done a damn thing for us. You give credit where God has not earned it. And all the people who are now thinking for themselves, all the little children are watching you, watching everything that's going on, and they are seeing quite clear that something is wrong. This God has no power. You can get angry at me all that you want to. The reason why I cannot ride with God, because clearly to me, this God has no power. I don't see it. You can't prove it to me. You can't show it to me. We've had 2 straight mass shootings in a row. And this is not to mention, people are still being murdered in Chicago and in the big cities all over this country. And it can happen on a Sunday. It can happen in your church. It can happen in your mosque. It can happen in your synagogue. Your God has no power. Your God is being tested. Just like your God tests you for your faith and your loyalty to him, now your God is being tested. And just like you fail your God, because you'll never be perfect, nobody will be perfect enough to please God. Y'all always fail your God. But it don't make any difference, because your God is failing you. Hey, what's up there, Bishop Howard? I can't remember his name. But I just wanted to get that off my chest, because don't come here with your excuse making. Show me the power of God. Don't come tell me what God can do. He could have done this and all this excuse making. Just simply show the power of your God. Now or in the past. We don't even see the power of God in the past. Y'all just praise and y'all just holler and scream for this God. And there's no results. There's nothing that you can show that your God has in power. Yahweh, Yahshua, Jesus, Master Farah Muhammad, whatever the God is, show us the real power. You claim that God is responsible, but you cannot really show that God is responsible for anything that affects us. Nothing. God is being tested, and God should be tested. I woke up this morning because my body is behaving the way it's supposed to be. As long as your body, as long as a car, everything in your car, as long as everything in your car is operating properly, your car is going to run. Nothing is going to stop it. But as soon as your body, something goes wrong with your body, you're going to start having problems. Have nothing to do with a God.
Free your mind.
And the topic that we've chosen is asking questions or harassment. Now, there are many folks, nobody in particular, that come to this channel and they make a claim that I avoid the hard questions, that I fear their inquiry. Now, I don't fear inquiry. I don't fear questions. It is true. And most times, those who fear or those who don't like questions, you have to wonder, what are you trying to hide? I am not trying to hide nothing. I am not a deceiver. I'm not a manipulator. In fact, I will tell you, if I don't have an answer to your inquiry, I will tell you simply, I don't know. So if I tell you I don't know, then there is no need longer to ask me the same question over and over again when I told you I don't know. Okay? I have 10 years of experience in the criminal court system where they constantly ask you questions so that they may accuse you of a crime so that they can imprison or incarcerate you. Oh, you don't want to answer the question. So this makes one feel as though you are guilty of whatever you are accused of. And I never avoided their questions. But the thing about the court system is, regardless to your answer, if it is their intent to incarcerate you, they don't care whether your answer is true or false. They would rather it be false so they can catch you in a lie. Their intent is to place you behind bars for whatever reason. Whether that is legitimate or whether simply because you are dealing with racists in this society that want the opportunity to place a dark-skinned person behind bars. Whether they can justify or not justify, they frame people and build false cases on people all the time. You know this, they know this. We know this. But now back to the meat of what we want to speak about, and that is the fear of inquiry. I don't fear your inquiry. I don't run from your inquiry. Nobody, nothing that you say makes me afraid of your questions. In fact, there's no such thing as a stupid question. If, this is the key, if it is a question, or are you using inquiry? Are you using your question as a means of harassment, as a means of ridicule, as a means of exploitation, abuse? Are you really asking questions to know, or are you just trying to harass somebody? And there's a difference. If you ask me, what is 1 plus 1, and I tell you 3, which of course is incorrect, then you have the right to continue questioning, because we know that 1 plus 1 is 3. But if that is my answer, if that is my final answer, then you need to accept that answer and go on about your damn business, because I answered your question. Now, also, it's according to how we ask questions. Some of you are nasty and you're foul because your intent is not to know. Your real intent is not to find an answer to a question, but your intent is to harass and try to make mockery and ridicule. That's your intent. For me, there's nothing you can say, there's no question you got that I want to run away from. If I don't have the answer, then I will tell you I don't know. Now, if you're asking questions about me personally or my ideas, I will answer you and give you my answer. Now, for some of you, because you are trying to make mockery, you're trying to ridicule, you're just trying to harass, then you turn your so-called inquiry into commentary. A commentary is not a question. Again, we know where you're coming from by your behavior and how you present your questioning to somebody. Now, if I tell you 1 + 1 = 3, then you can say, well, Mr. Angel Snub 7, sir, to my knowledge, 1 + 1 is 2. Could you explain to us how your math concludes that 1 + 1 is 3? Then now, because you brought this question to me in a civil manner, now I'm sort of obligated to answer your inquiry. Well, you see, because when the sun aligns with the moon and when they crisscross, it eliminates each other. That causes me to come, whatever my answer is. Now, of course, that answer is ridiculous. But you don't have to make mockery. You can just say, continue to answer in a civil manner, or say, I'm really not understanding. What does the moon and the sun crossing each other have to do? But see, some of us, you sound stupid. That's dumb. 1 + 1 is 2. Where you get your mathematics from? You don't have any education. You illiterate. Then we want to bring in our commentary talking about how stupid somebody is, how illiterate somebody is. This is your problem. The way that you bring your inquiry, because see, your real true intent is not to really find out. It's not really to know. You want to question a person because you're smarter than they are. You're more intelligent than they are. They are foul, they're stupid, and you want to try to put that person on Front Street with your questions. That's your intent. And then you wonder why you get blocked. And you wonder why, if this person met you in person, they'll probably punch you in your damn face. It's not about your questions. It's about the presentation, because you know that we're dealing with each other, and when we believe in something, then that's a very emotional issue. But see, most of you want to hide behind a picture, and you want to be nasty, and you want to be rude, profane, vile, and disgusting. And you can do that on social media. But then you act like you shocked. They scared of me. But you don't tell people of how you disrespect, and you're vulgar, and you're nasty. And then when you meet somebody, look, I answered your damn question. But see, the question, the answer sounds valid. The answer sounds credible, and you don't like the answer, so you still want to try to show that this person don't know what the hell they talking about, because your intent is not to know. Your intent is to harass and try to ridicule and make mockery. And you wonder why you get blocked. I don't do that. Nobody can say I question you in a nasty manner. I'm civil. I'm very civil. I'm respectful. I'm not talking about your dog. I'm not talking about your mama. I'm not talking about where you work, what clothes you wear. I'm talking about and questioning your ideology. I'm questioning your belief system. And I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. And you know this. But still, There are those who don't like questions. They don't like inquiry. So yes, you do have those who fear inquiry because they can't answer and they don't want to look bad in front of their audience. So they block you, and they might make a personal video talking about how crazy you are and you've been to the nut house and you stupid and you a coon and a sambo. So we know about this. But don't sit around here with your self-righteous ass and think somebody really scared of you when your question have been answered in a credible, logical manner. You just can't accept it because you think that you're smarter, you're more intelligent. But then the person you thought you was gonna make look like a fool, make a fool out of your happy ass. And that's your personal problem. So now you want to keep messing with them over and over again. I answered your damn question, but you still want to keep trying to make somebody look stupid. You can't make me look stupid, punk, because I'm not stupid, no matter how hard you try. So of course, nobody want to be bothered with that. I answered your question. You don't want to accept the answer. It's legit. Go about your business. And that's what this whole thing is about. Not fear of inquiry.
Free your mind.
One. All right. Let's make a quick visit. I want to give a very simple example. Bring us some real simple proof that these pro-black, black first, unapologetically African, black African, Kemetic, Hebrew Israelite, more, all this blackity black stuff, all this stuff that some of these folks love. Ain't nothing feel good rhetoric. The only thing they did was replace white Jesus or pink Jesus with their own version of something to foam at the mouth about, to feel good about. They don't do no more than those who they make mockery of that praise white Jesus. If so, please show me. In fact, those who they say believe in white Jesus actually accomplish and do more and have done more than these blackity black folks have ever done. Remember, our people or our group, we have yet to become a people, but we're called that. But this group we belong to, remember, our ancestors were slaves and they were giving white Jesus. And they accomplished much things, belief in white Jesus. The pro-blacks believe or talk about Nat Turner. Nat Turner believed in the Bible because he was given white Jesus. Marcus Garvey was a Christian. He believed in the Bible. And the Bible was given to us by our oppressors. Now, after the fact, you said, well, actually, the Bible is an African book and the white man corrupted. Yeah, whatever. You didn't get it from an African. You didn't get it from Kemet. You didn't get it from Ethiopia. You got it from your oppressor. And you took what your oppressor gave you and you ran with it. That's the bottom line. All this other stuff, like the way they try to justify saying the word nigger, well, it's really naga, or nigger with a A instead of an ER and all this old stuff. Whatever. It came from your oppressor, and you're going to hold on to those things because being pro-black, you're nothing but a child of races anyway. It was the white man that created, it was the Caucasian people, white supremacy, racism, that created all this blackity-black garbage. Nobody cared anything about this stuff until the racists created it. And now the only thing you've done is grab what your oppressor gave you and ran with it. No more, no less. No dark-skinned people on this planet know anything about black conscience, African spirituality, the Hebrew Israelites more in the manner that y'all talking about. It didn't exist. This stuff did not exist. It's a response and it's a reaction from the racism for trying to find some type of identity for those who were nothing but slaves. Then you are free. Now you need some type of identity because you hate the white man. Let me give this example real quick. Look, I'm going to show you how fraud and fake they come to you and me with their smile. Their fake smiles about you my brother, you my sister. They so fake. Let me show you. Now look. Here is somebody you love. Could be your mother, could be a cousin, could be your father, brother, sister, grandma, whoever. They are addicted to crack, alcoholic, porn addiction, a prostitute, a drug dealer. They could be gay, whatever the problem that you don't like. Choose one. We have lots of problems. Jay-Z said, we have 99 problems. We have more than that. We've had going on 500 years worth of problems. So, now, when you love somebody, you don't make mockery of them when they are suicidal. You don't make mockery of them when they are suffering depression. You don't make mockery of them when they are living a detrimental lifestyle, prostitution, being a pimp in the street, a drug dealer, and whatever. You don't make mockery of them when you love them. When you see somebody and you love them, what is the thing that you try to do? You reach out and touch somebody's hand. That's what you do. You reach out and touch your mother and your father or cousin or brother and sister. You reach out because you want to help them because you don't like to see them in that condition. And you treat them with care. You don't tell your sister and make mockery of your sister in the street she's a prostitute. You don't call her no hoe and no bitch. And you're a coon, work for white supremacy or a gang member. You don't do that when you love. Because you want them to do better. You want them to come up out of that horrid, what you view as a horrid condition. When a person gets sick, you don't see people in the hospital making mockery of those who are sick. You bring care and patience to those in order to try to help them get well. So in the minds of these pro-black folks, people like me, maybe people like you, we are suffering mental illness. We are not awoke. We belong to the white man. We are still enslaved. We are not conscious. So that means we are mentally disturbed. That means we are sick. But how do they treat you and I? They treat you and I by calling us Uncle Tom, coon, Sambo, bitches, bedwench, hoes, nigger, and the list goes on and on. And they love those racist words they learn from the racists like nigger, bedwench, coon, Sambo. They love those words. But you and I are the coon, but who are using the racist words? They are. Who sound like the racists? Who carry them? Who is filled with hatred for the same kind of stuff the racists do? It's them. But if I am mentally ill, if I am mentally disturbed, suffering from some type of disorder, then you don't come to somebody that's sick and make mockery of their sickness. You treat them with care. You treat them with love. You treat them with the brotherhood, the sisterhood that you're talking about. But see, that goes to show you in their behavior that they don't care nothing about you. Because if we are sick and you are trying to raise us to consciousness, then you don't treat the sick with aggression. You treat the sick with patience, love, and care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. It's all a front. Because they need, see, it takes time. It takes time to get well from a sickness. It takes time to get well. Sometimes you don't never recover. But it takes time if you do heal. They don't have the time. They want you on their slave plantation immediately. They don't have time to try to heal you of your sickness. They don't really have time to awaken your mind. And you do know, they say, well, see, you fight what we're trying to do. That's what sick people do. Many people who get sick don't like their medicine. They fight against the doctor. That's what happens when people are sick. If the doctor makes mockery, if the nurse makes mockery, they do it behind closed doors. They don't call the patient names. They don't make mockery of the patient. But these wicked, demonic, racist wannabes, pieces of trash, sewer rats, talking all this black, Afrocentric garbage, fabricated lies, history. They don't have time for it because they are not what they seem. They are liars, they are manipulators, they are deceivers, and they are nothing but racist, chocolate-covered racists. So you have somebody like Tariq Nasheed being banned from the UK. The government is doing the dark-skinned people there a favor because he's nothing but a racist wannabe. If these people had the power that white folks have right now, they would be worse. I'm telling you, they would be worse. They would be murdering because we've already seen their history. They murder soul brothers and sisters because you a hypocrite, because you a Sambo, because you a coon. They will kill and murder you. But those who are in the business of healing people, they took an oath to save life. Do you understand? These people are supposed to be like doctors trying to heal. Doctors take an oath to save life. These people, you don't heal up and do what you think they should do, that you should do. They are ready to murder you. Put an IV in your arm and put some mercury, some arsenic in your veins. Oh, they know that they would treat somebody they really love much differently because they do love them. They don't love you. They would not call their mother, who really is a prostitute, a whore and a slut and all that kind of stuff. They would call her mother and try to help her because they love her. They call you coon, Sambo, Uncle Tom, and all these nasty things and talk to us all crazy because they do not love us. It's all a front. They were created by white supremacy, racism, and they show it every day. Their mindset is just like the racists. There's no doubt about it. The only thing you have to do is take the black out of the equation and put white. You can't tell them the difference between them and the Ku Klux Klan or the skinheads or Donald Trump. They talk the same kind of crap.